Ali, 5 years since the formation of the Trust. It's hard to believe in some ways, yet so much has happened during that 5 years.
Yeah, it's very easy at this stage to look back and think, oh, this has been quite successful, but it's been very hard work getting to where we are. But the team have worked exceptionally hard with the support of the club and many of the partners in the area. So yeah, it's been hugely successful.
What are some of the highlights that spring to mind? I mean, the organisation has changed beyond recognition since back in these early days.
Yeah, well, obviously we've been fortunate enough to win a few awards, which has been very nice. Won a European award, been recognised by the Scottish FA, which is always very nice. But the reality is the best stories always relate to the individual stories. Families that come here with people who are living with autism and perhaps can't do these things together. Families coming here and having memories and attending with fathers who haven't come to a match since they got diagnosed with dementia. It's the small stories that make major differences.
And the raison d'etre of the Community Trust has evolved over the 5 years, and now there's the three pillars, as it were, education being one of them.
Yeah, we've now down to 3 pillars. We have football for life. We still deliver a huge amount of football, as you would expect. Fantastic support from the local grassroots clubs, great involvement with the primary school leagues and great support from local sponsors regarding that. So Football for Life's a fantastic one, and with the obvious growth of the women's game and now the involvement of Aberdeen ladies is great stuff. Education is a significant one, a lot of support from primary schools, now moving into secondary schools, engagement with many schools, understanding that using us as an engagement tool to get the children involved and engaged with the school activities is helping get them attain better marks and attend school more often. So that's been very helpful. And then the Healthy Community strand pretty much sums up what we like to do most of all, insofar as it allows us to just do those things that you maybe don't associate a football club with. Dementia probably being one of the strongest examples, that lots of people still ask us the question, why is a football club or a community trust involved in working with people with dementia? And we're able to explain the reasons why, and it gets them engaged in the conversation.
And the success of the programme, particularly the dementia programme, has been, I don't think anyone could have foreseen just how much of a difference it made to people.
No, I think it would be fair to say that when Stephen Sweeney and I first discussed this, we thought it was a good idea, but we knew very little about it. We had to find the partners to work with, we had to seek the funding, which the Life Changes Trust helped us with. They've been a fantastic supporter for us. And it's resulted in us winning the European Club Award trophy for the dementia programmes. But what it's resulted in is just providing support to both people who have dementia and those people who are caring for those people with dementia. And ironically, my dad now has dementia, and as that becomes increasingly apparent, both my mother and father are benefiting from a programme that was designed many years ago and has turned out to be exceedingly positive for everybody that's been involved with it.
One other development has been the presence of the Community Trust, for example, with Stephen out at the Geary Sports Centre, Peterhead, now the Trust heavily involved, and it's a model, the Inverurie one is a model that can be replicated elsewhere.
We're absolutely delighted with the way that's now starting to take hold. Obviously, when we started off, we did a lot of work in the city because geographically it was easier for us, but now we're working our way into the Aberdeenshire. The work at Inverurie is already proven to be exceedingly successful, helped by Stephen Body, who does a fantastic job out there. But we now have the Pittodrie project, working in partnership with Peterhead Academy, Aberdeenshire Council and Peterhead FC, and that's working very, very well as well. So well that hopefully we'll manage to expand that at some point in the future. 5
years in, the next 5 years, very difficult to predict what AFCCT will look like in 5 years' time, but one thing, at least you'll have purpose-built accommodation.
Yes, well, obviously that was a significant part of the last 12 months. I was involved quite heavily in the discussions with that. My team were working very hard to demonstrate why we needed those facilities. We were delighted with the outcome of the planning permission, and we just sit and wait patiently with the other things that are going on regarding that. But yeah, we're now working towards that. But yeah, obviously we have a plan as to where we're going, but the reality is it may well look very different to what it looks like now.
And what's been achieved without your own place of residence, as it were. You've had to beg, steal and borrow here at the club, but what can be achieved when you do have your own place of work? It doesn't bear thinking about.
No, it's going to be a fantastic bonus to us all, but I think the positioning of it and where it is actually going to be very helpful for the whole region. We'll be able to get people down from Peterhead relatively straightforwardly now that the road's in place. We'll have additional facilities that we can programme things in. We will just be able to expand what we do. We'll still be sited throughout the region, we'll still be sited at schools and other locations throughout the city in Aberdeenshire, But the reality is that using those facilities is going to make a massive difference.
And as you say, there'll still be a presence here in the Pittodrie area because the work that's done locally is very important to you.
It's exceedingly important. I mean, we're already in discussions with Aberdeen Sports Village to see what we can do in partnership with them. We'll stay in the local schools. This is an area where really the heart of the club will remain for a very long time. This is part of us having to move somewhere else, and we have to. We remain crammed into small spaces. We need to move, but it doesn't mean we have to move away.
The staff and volunteers, the numbers have grown. The impact on the volunteers in particular, I've certainly, as I'm sure everyone has, seen them really develop their personalities when they come to work, and it is a life changer, and that's another side of the trust that perhaps deserves to be recognised more.
I think in all reality, it's probably been the most successful part of what we've done. Whilst we design specific programmes and deliver those to specific groups, I think the volunteers and some of the younger staff who have worked themselves up as volunteers, then became sessional staff and are now employed within my team, they're absolutely invaluable to the product. Many of them are embedded in what we do because we've helped them. And we see some fantastic individual stories that wasn't the outset when we designed what we were doing, but the reality is the trust, the club, the family that's generated as a consequence around the fans, etc., and the local community has been fantastic. And the bottom line is this stuff cannot be delivered without a fantastic team that I have, the fantastic volunteers that we continue to get, and the support of all the partners, including the football club, to deliver the stuff that we're doing on behalf of everyone in the North East.
And many, many lifelong friendships have been developed as well.
Yes, I think so. I think we've maybe got the first AFC Community Trust wedding coming our way. I can't remember when that's happening, but I'm looking for my invite, obviously, for those that are watching this video. But lifelong friends, lifelong relationships.
It's been expansion year upon year for the trust. There must come a time when you say, well, we've now reached our limit.
I keep getting told that might happen. It hasn't happened yet, so we'll continue to grow. I think trying to control the amount of growth and pacing that towards the new facilities is really the key. But to be honest, so many people come to us with so many good ideas, so many important local needs. We find it very difficult to turn them down. We are trying to control ourselves a little bit better, though.
Well, congratulations on the first 5 years, and here's to the next 5.
Thanks very much, Dave. Cheers. Thank you.